The Legion's Exorcist, a novel of God's Legion, by J.T. Dowdy, Chapter 7. All men are not created equal. Some are born into greater wealth, others into more physically capable bodies, while others yet have the oh-so-rare thing known as intelligence. You are all different, made different, are different. And yet, there is one thing each and every one of you has that is the same: the ever-burning faith of our most holy Lord, Elohim. You all have different backgrounds, but you all share the same eternal and unwavering faith. Take heart in this, good people, for it is through your continued labors and prayers that we remain a mighty nation. Opening of the midday call to prayer on the Host Ascendency planet, St. Carbajal the preacher. Mother Mary McFadden rose to her feet from the kneeling position she had assumed when the midday call to prayer came over the planet-wide Tannoy system. The brief sermon left her feeling refreshed and ready to do something she was forced to admit she was afraid of. She was not afraid she would be turned away, as her cause was just. She was afraid the additions, if any, to the battle group she had commandeered would not be enough against the evil she was committed to wiping out of existence. The Inquisitor had amassed a small flotilla of glittering golden warships in orbit, and several thousand men the local garrisons could spare for her. She was still extraordinarily frustrated, as a certain Captain Schneisel refused to lend her any ships or men when she requested, or rather, ordered him to cooperate, as was the customary duty of any good host citizen. He had rather off-handedly suggested he had orders from a holy angel to keep all of his men together for some upcoming campaign, then refused to elaborate further. Mary could not fault the man, for she suspected who those orders originated from, and why. Since Schneisel did not have any orders declaring the angel Elileth a traitor to the Host Ascendency, he was honor and duty bound to follow the orders of a divine being. Only 2 angels had been sent to her aid so far, a rather closed-mouthed mountain of a being named Dobiel, and a rather jaded one named Galgalim. Neither had spoken to her much, for which she was grateful, since they both outranked her, and caused mortals to kneel or prostrate themselves in prayer, which prevented work from getting done. She had been rather pointedly told that it was she who would be handling all of the mundane matters for everything, and that they would only participate in any fighting. She was not looking forward to her chances at beating 5 beings of spirit with only 2 angels of her own, and it was sheer happenstance she heard a certain voice over the planet-wide announcement system following the local cardinal's prayer. She had been down requesting more men from an army officer, and ordered a guardsman to take her to where the woman was making her announcement from, adjusting her uniform to make sure she looked as professional as possible. She walked up to a massive set of double doors flanked by golden-armored guardsmen. Both saluted her authority immediately by snapping to attention. Their las rifles held ramrods straight in front of their chests. One of them spoke. "How may I be of assistance, Inquisitor?" "Take me to Her Grace, the Archangel, currently in residence." The guardsman automatically obeyed, though his body language clearly suggested he would have rather remained a decoration by the door. "At once, Inquisitor. Please follow me." He spun on his heel and led Mother Mary into a cathedral-like structure which served as both the planetary governor's mansion and the capital church. Mary was led to an elaborately carved set of gilded double doors flanked by 2 more golden-armored men who wore many campaign medals on their breastplates. The doors were opened, and Mary strode in to stop after only a few paces, as there was the woman she was looking for coming out. Immediately, the Inquisitor removed her bicorn hat and went down on one knee. She began speaking, in case the Archangel of her faith planned to keep walking. "Forgive me, holy ones." There was a second angel with the Archangel, but I must speak with you on a matter of grave importance." The female archangel sighed, and there was a strange metallic sound as she raised her arm and commanded, "Rise. You may speak, Inquisitor. I pray you, though, be brief. We do have much work to be about, and we have already wasted much time today." "It shall be as you say, Your Grace. I was sent on a mission from His Grace Raphael and the Grand Inquisitor to apprehend one former senior exorcist, Norman Kant, who has turned his back on the one true faith. He has fallen to heresy and committed grievous sin." The male angel spoke next. His voice was rich and deep. "One lone mortal forced you to come all the way to us?" "Yes, Holy One. He has fallen into company with 4 other beings of spirit. She refused to call them angels, as only her faith had angels. Plus, I do not know how to put this, one other being of spirit called herself Lilith. His Grace Raphael saw fit to only send 2 holy angels to aid me, and I do not think I can overcome so many heretics with." The male snorted, cutting her off. "That would be foolish of you to try with only 2 of our siblings." Mary swallowed hard. "It is as you say, Your Eminence." The Inquisitor risked a glance and received a nod to raise her head. The archangel wore her customary stout, brigandine coat of plates over a tight shirt of forest green that matched her pants. She wore stout leather work boots, and the odd metallic sound came from a set of golden jack chains which hung down the outer sides of her arms and legs. She was more beautiful than any holodrama star, and she had a wealth of auburn-colored hair pulled back into an elaborate braid. She was the archangel Jophiel. The male angel was known as Ragul, and he always wore plain, gleaming golden guardsman armor. His hair and eyes were dull brown, and his face forgettable except for a square jaw. Jophiel covered her face with a hand to groan. "Why us, Rags?" "Because we are always in the wrong place at the right time." "Too true. Inquisitor, do you know where these heretics are?" "No, Your Grace," Mary said. "Only that they are still in this sector of space. They are looking for the apostate Norman Kant's bastard son. Why would they even care? I do not know. One of the heretics said something about demons looking for the child." The archangel was suddenly interested for some reason, and she focused her eyes on the Inquisitor with such intensity it made the mortal woman so uncomfortable to the point she was starting to question coming here to ask for help. "Demons do not do that, mortal. Most do not possess enough of a mind to care about anything other than looking for souls of the faithful to eat. Do you know anything more?" "No, Your Grace. The angel Eleleth is in the company of heretics. She commanded me to leave when I tried to arrest them. She willingly took orders from this heretic calling herself Lilith." Raguel let out a booming laugh. You tried to arrest an elder creator. You, a mortal. How did you think that was going to go? She could look at you and blow your body to its constituent atoms if she really wished to." Mary's zealous temper got the better of her, as she stated, "I was commanded by Lord Raphael to go with Father Kant and find demonic corruption on Our Lady of the Red Lake and put a stop to it. When we arrived, the heretics were already there and claimed to have taken care of the problem for us. They began spouting blasphemous lies, and I did my duty, a duty to which Father Kant refused to participate in." Jophiel and Ragel shared a look in which whole sentences were finished in their minds from long years of working together. The male angel nodded, and Jophiel finally was forced to agree. "Very well, Inquisitor. Use my authority to requisition every able-bodied guardsman on this planet and ship in orbit, We will join you in your duty. Transfer your command staff, if you have any, to my dreadnought in orbit, while I pester someone to find out where these heretics might be. This should be an amusing chase at the very least. Mary bowed low and said, "Thy will be done." And then she spun on her heel and marched off. Jophiel waited until the Inquisitor was out of earshot before speaking quietly with her partner. You do know what Lilith is really doing in host space, right? I was there with you when the Master told us to keep an eye out. Seems Hosofiel is not the only corrupted angel in the host. Raguel grimaced at that name, since he was one of the ones who got the honor of cleaning up the mess she had made by selling a planet's population to a demon prince in exchange for the rest of her sector being passed over from raids. Wow, he complained. Who would have ever guessed soul-addicted fanatics would turn into junkies who looked for a bigger and better fix? Rags, Jophiel groaned, ignoring the tirade he was about to go on. This mission of the Inquisitor seemed more personal than business. Did you see her face when she said the man's name? I have eyes. Hell, I guess I will contact a sentient and see what this is all about. Please do. I want to help Lilith, of course, but I do not want us getting in the middle of this. This has the potential to kick off something which has been brewing for a long time. Jophiel sighed and continued. It would seem our path is clear, though, regardless of the two outcomes. Raguel snorted. Sure does suck to be the Inquisitor, then. Yeah, it does. The poor thing. You know what? After we help Elohim fix his screwed-up government, I am telling the Master we are coming home. I hate it here. He won't like that. Not now, with all of the ridiculous things he is having to deal with, because his children could not be asked to listen to reason when he told them how to set up their own nations. I really, truly, do not give a crap what he wants. We have done our job faithfully here for billions of years. We are going home. If he does not like it, then he can bite me. Raguel artfully held his tongue on the subject. Long ago, the Legion Master was forced to make a rule where he could not be with any angel under his command. Jophiel always found that rule particularly vexing, since she viewed herself as an angel of Creator Jehovah's, dominion of Zion the Everlasting, from the fifth dimension. She was one of the many who followed the original Lucifer on his exodus from said government, and she had loved the Legion Master for longer than she could remember. In order for the two to still see each other, he had forced her to come work for Elohim, who needed a planetologist who specialized in engineering biospheres. Raguel knew his partner's obsession with her lover was dangerous, but even he was forced to admit he no longer cared what his adopted father wanted, for he too wanted to go home and get far away from the crazed religious zealots of the Host Ascendency. All right, he agreed. We finish what we told Elohim we would do, then we are leaving this hellhole. Just do me a favor, will you, Jophi? What? Jophiel snapped, her anger at being forced to come here to the host evident. Be easy on the old man when we get back. He held up his hand to stifle the inevitable outburst. No, I have the talking stick, Jophi. I just want you to remember what Katarina said a few years ago when we gave her and that pilot of hers a ride. The old man cared for her as much as he does you. Just don't do something foolish to where we have a repeat of the War of 1,000 Universes. Okay, that's all I'm asking. The Archangel grimaced. That conversation with a Legion sentient had been one of the more eye-opening experiences of her too long life. Fine, yeah. Let's go follow this Inquisitor and see if we can keep whatever conflict is bound to happen to a minimum. If the old man sent Lilith, then Baphomet and his Legio are not far behind. The woman shuddered at some long-ago memory. "You know," Raguel said, drawing out the words, "if we were to do nothing, this problem with the personally offended inquisitor will handle itself in relatively short order." Jophiel was about to reply with something snarky. Then she paused. She snapped her fingers and asked, "Rags, if a Legion warship obliterates a flotilla carrying a couple of His Holiness's angels and an inquisitor, what would the host be forced to do?" "Oh yeah, that would be rather beneficial to the other side, wouldn't it?" "Yes, it would. I think we need to find a way to have a chat with the estimable Grand Inquisitor. Our Inquisitor here may be acting on his orders given in good faith, or—" Raguel finished the sentence. "Or he may be part of the rot infecting the host. All right. So, back to heaven to intimidate the man personally it is. Since we will be there, we should see if Elohim wants to do something to save the crumbling remains of his 2-bit fiefdom.